What's going on, y'all? My name is Christopher Life Willars, and this is the Stay Free Live Conversations. As I have been for the past few weeks, I'm up here with my brother Amir Tariq, and I probably said that wrong. I'd be butchering everybody's name. If I did, I
What's
apologize.
going on, y'all? My
Yeah,
name
you
is
good, bro. You good. You
Willars,
good.
and
It's
this
not a
is
Uh,
thing.
the
It's not a
Stay
thing.
Okay, I
Hold
want to
on.
make sure I get it right, man. We are live, man. So, hey, forgive the technical difficulties. We in the building. Me and my brother, man, he's got a great platform, Second Lap Media, but Second Lap, it's not a podcast per se, though there's some great conversations up there. It's a really positive and impactful organization. Amir, can you please tell some people about the good work y'all do over there, man?
Second Lap, man. First off, the nonprofit itself, Second Lap, second L.A.P. Life After Prison. It's basically what we do, and he tapped out already. That's a good way to exit this, to leave it
But
on
I'm
me.
back that fast.
But he's back that fast. Yeah, Second Lap, Life After Prison is what we do. We battle recidivism. We try and put men and women coming home from prisons in the best position to be successful after their incarceration. We try and make it so that they get reacclimated into society, be able to be in a position to get good jobs, not just the mom and pop jobs, because the mom and pop job is not going to be able to have you prepare and provide for your family. And also, skills and social skill, not social skills, skills and programs that they may need to be successful after their incarceration. That's what we do. When it comes to my actual Second Lab Media, there are several things that are included in that. One of those things is the Visitation Room podcast, which um, really I started that just to bring more attention to the nonprofit. But I guess people like hearing me run my mouth, so it's been taking off pretty good. I
Yeah,
had
make
your
sure
man
y'all
right
check
here.
that out, man.
Make sure y'all check that out
Make sure
on
you check out
second.
my episode, man, and go up
Yeah,
and tag hashtag stay free, man. I need to run my numbers up, man.
yeah, so y'all come on over there and check us out, man. And the other project that we have is the Echoes of Survivors, where women of DV, men and women DV survivors have the opportunity to let their voices be heard. So yeah, come and check us out, man. It's a lot of stuff going on, good projects. We've been traveling the United States with this guy until the Ebola hit us somewhere in the South.
Yeah, something happened between where were we, Dallas and Virginia.
Dallas and Virginia, something hit us, and it's
Yeah,
been,
shout out to
sheesh.
both of those places, man. Shout out to Arizona. We were in Phoenix, we were in Oak Cliff, man, and we were able to experience the wonderful people there and learn about the, really what's going on in the culture and all that. And then we're still headed back to Virginia. We got some work to do there, but we're headed to all these different places to help tell people's stories, man.
Right,
Um,
right.
to kind of battle against stigma and stereotype, to take away excuses, but to have needed conversations with people that maybe you don't get to hear all the time. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
So I'm excited about that, man. We're finally editing. 16 weeks later, me and the team, aka me and my wife, we are we are editing, man. Great process, man. But what are we speaking about today, man?
Today we have reentry shock, man. Reentry shock. That reentry process is a lot of people don't look at it as being so major, but I remember in DOC before I came home, which is about 2017, 18, everyone was talking about this reentry projects. And I was
Reentry.
like,
Yep.
what is this? What are y'all talking about? Dude just want to go home.
Yeah.
But everyone started talking about the reentry process, then reentry programs and all that type of stuff started popping up. And then I realized once I was one of those guys that went home, yeah, there is reentry shock. That's stepping out of that controlled environment, stepping out of that everyday thing that you're so used to, right? That program, and then all of a sudden it's just ultimate freedom to an extent, right?
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, reentry shock. That's what we're talking about today,
Reentry shock. I'm down here having technology shock. But no
which is part
shock.
of reentry shock.
It's part of reentry shock. I'm grateful to have this conversation because one of the stigmas and stereotypes is that when you walk out of prison, evidently the gate that you walk out of or the doorway is a magical, I don't like to use the word portal, that's not my thing, but a magical doorway that when you walk through it, all of the trauma and everything you've experienced throughout all those years in confinement just go away instantly. That's what a
Right,
lot of people think, that when you're free, you're supposed to automatically be okay. You're free
right,
now. And
right.
let me tell you something. about the conversations we get into. I'm so glad. This is a good conversation right here. But my wife, prior to me coming home, I'm ending the 16 years, 11 months that I did in confinement. People are always like, I thought you had 144 years. I had 144 all suspended with 19. It's my sentence, right? I do 16 or 85% of that. I'm at the end of it. 3 months left. And my wife on the phone one day, she's like, yo, it's gonna get hard when you get home. And I get livid. I'm not trying to hear that first and foremost. Don't
Right.
tell me that I fought through 16 years, 8 months. I got 3 more months left. Don't tell me that I fought through all this. This is the hard part. This was hell. This is prison. But you're telling me that what I survived is easier than what I'm getting ready to go into. I didn't want to hear that, bro. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? But how
Exactly.
would you have felt if when you were 3 months out, and maybe somebody did say that to you, but
They did.
they did. Okay, so can you give me a little bit of the backdrop and how your response was? Maybe you
Say,
didn't. Maybe you responded differently. You
well,
maybe you
I pretty much gave the same response of mine. I'm a little more vocal. So they was basically like, okay, it's time to do real work now. And I was like, real
real
work?
work.
What are you talking? What? You know what I mean? Like everything that I've basically gone through, everything that I'd put myself in a situation to be able to handle, and you say to me, real work now, like what
I've
I've
been
just been
putting in work on level four
I've just been
yards.
goofing off, what I've been doing. But the reality of it is, and I think I mentioned this on one of our other segments that we talked about. When I touched down, my stepmother, right, from Rock Hill, South Carolina, said to me, she said, "Boy, you were 18 when you went in, and you're 18 when you came home." And I was like, "What? That's the dumbest thing ever." But I didn't say that to her. But yeah, she's probably gonna hear it soon later. But yeah, I thought it was the dumbest thing ever, because all the stuff that I prepared myself for, that I thought I prepared myself for, it amounted to nothing to that first 2 weeks of being home.
Nothing.
2 weeks of being home. So I felt insulted when she said that to me. You know what I'm saying? Peace,
Yeah.
peace to Mama Tess. She was like, "Yeah, yeah, it's time for real work." What do you think I've been doing? Yeah, I was insulted. I actually was insulted.
Yeah. I didn't want to hear that because I'm not. How you know nothing about prison? You wouldn't last. I told my wife this. I'm telling my wife this. You wouldn't last 3 days on the yard. How you gonna tell me that this is hard? Because I'm out my mind too at this point. I'm probably might be in the middle of a crisis, and I don't know because I got high level anxiety. I'm scared to
Right.
death, by the way, which triggered me even more because deep down inside, I was scared to death to go home. I wasn't scared. I wanted to be free. Don't get it twisted. I wasn't one of the guys that was gonna find a reason to stay longer, but I was scared because I was gone from the age of 19 to 36. Were you scared prior to going home? Did you have anxiety or fear or worry? What were you feeling? Or were you just excited?
So you got to keep in mind. Remember, I was one of those guys who left, came back.
Mm.
So to me, the first time I'll say I was completely naive. I was arrogant. I was like, "Yeah, I ain't never coming back. Damn y'all." Right?
Right.
As soon as I stepped out, I was working on my way getting back in. But when I came home, 2019, right? When I stepped out of prison, when I had made the conscious decision to say, "Nah, this is done." Yeah, I was terrified. I was terrified. And I'd actually seen a guy, like, I remember seeing an old head years and years ago, like the day he was supposed to go home, he was in the bathroom, he was vomiting and everything. And I was like, "Yo, what is wrong with this dude? You
Right.
going home, clown?" But
Right.
then that pressure was on me. It's like the pressure of saying, "Okay, I'm stepping out of the norm. There is no 3 meals. There is no, you know what I'm saying?" I had a woman who I was coming home to, but
People
at the
don't
time,
talk. People don't want to admit that part. Like you're provided certain things in prison,
right.
and now you got to worry about this,
You
man.
got to worry. Yeah, exactly. You have to worry about that meal each time. And then the other thing about it is not being on a negative stance, but a lot of us, as you know, because we were in some of the major institutions, the fours and fives, it's fight or flight in that environment.
Right.
When you step out to society, there's no fight or flight. You got to deal with some of that stuff. And
Right.
that's why, that leads into something you and I talked about before, mental health. Myself, and I'm still dealing with a lot of that because I'm still on flight mode. Like if
Right.
I don't like something, if I don't want to hear it, if it's not what I'm trying to hear, I'm out. I'm gone. You know what I
Right.
mean? Now I'm forcing myself. I'm in a position now where I'm forcing myself to try and face these, as they say, demons head on. Okay, you
Yeah.
know what? I meet someone, they, trying to get relationships and so on and so forth, and I don't like what they say. I'm out of here. But
Oh,
now I got, well, damn, that's 4 or 5 failed relationships later.
right.
I maybe I should try and learn how to talk this out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, it was terrifying.
We're
Yeah,
trained
it's terrifying.
we're conditioned to come to this understanding that because we're in prison, we can be alone. One of the things I used to tell my wife early on, I've been home now 6 years, but I remember year one, I used to tell her out loud in the midst of an argument, I did 17 years dolo. I don't need nobody. And that's a horrible thing to say to your wife, right? But again, totally different space. I got the help that I needed, process some things.
Salute
But
to you for that. Getting that
yeah,
help, bro.
yeah,
Letting that help.
bruh. Well, I didn't want to lose my wife. I didn't want to lose my life. I wanted to, I knew enough. I was aware enough to know that I needed to make a decision that didn't include my emotions. But it was still hard certain moments not to include my emotions in certain decisions, right? But and I'll get into that a little bit later.
Right.
But I used to always want to run too. I was a quitter. Even in prison, I remember one guy in Haynesville. I was in this business class, and I just quit. But part of the reason I used to quit things is because I used to be hyper ADHD, and I used to start enjoying things. We'll talk about that on another episode on identity in prison. But
Right.
boredom. But at the same time, he's like, "Yo, you ain't nothing but a quitter." And him saying that to me on the yard, he was like an older cat, and like he would have definitely fought me, and I knew that, so I definitely didn't like give him too much. I was like, "All right, whatever," and walked off.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
but man, that seed rang true years later, man. I still remember what he looked like standing on the yard, and I can't remember his name, but if you're watching, thank you.
Right.
Because that's what I remembered when I was in therapy. I remembered my brother on the yard, or brother that I knew on the yard at that time, that said, "You can't keep quitting things in life." And I didn't want to be that. And I applied that to my marriage, but it was definitely a battle.
Most
There's
definitely.
stigma. There's I think part of the stigma and stereotype that us as men don't, or I don't want to say stigma, I'm going to say the part that we don't want to embrace. In relationship, you have to feel. In relationship, in order for it to be work, you have to be vulnerable in order for it to actually succeed. And a lot of us, we don't want to be vulnerable because of the hell we went through. We've been
Exactly.
left. We've been left by our, I'm not saying you because you're really close to your pops, but some people's pops or moms, brothers, they just left them, and they were deserted or whatever. So there's this seed that's been planted, and now I'm going to stay guarded, right? Because also I've been in an environment of 10, 12, 13, 20, whatever years where people were getting snaked over, manipulated. So I carry that out here, and I don't want to I don't want to open up. That's a
No, no
battle.
question. Because you open up, there's a chance you get hurt.
Yeah.
That's how we felt. You open up, there's a chance you can get hurt. You open up, there's a chance that um, someone can see that you're not all steel and concrete. You know what I mean? And we have to keep that persona. I think
Because you're
for
supposed to be
myself,
tough.
that's the thing that hurt me the most. You know what I'm saying? Because even to this day, um, failed relationship after failed relationship, you know, my thing is it's to my father, it's okay. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? Cause my father know, he said, "Boy, you just as soft as duck butter." He'll say that to me, right? Because
Hmm.
I'll open up to him. I have no problem doing that. I've been when I was doing the whole trucking thing, when I had my trucks going and everything like that, just making good money, so on and so forth. You know, I'd be pulled over on the side of the road and in panic mode. First person I call, Dad. He's like,
Hmm.
talk to me. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because I had those same conversations. I think I mentioned to you before when I was incarcerated. It was a guy my mind was set was I'm gonna take this dude out. He no longer needs to be living. I got that angry, but the first person I called was my father, and he
Hmm.
said, "Let's talk it out." You know what I mean? And then later, right before that, I got a letter in the mail, and I was like, you know what? It ain't even that serious. But to have that, to get out here where you don't, getting back on the topic, to get out
Hmm.
here and you don't have that, what do you say, that program.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Because we
Yes.
we don't have that bro. I can tell you something. I remember the first few days I was home, and my lady, she was, I was married at the time. She was
Mhm.
gone. She went to work, and that's when I got to sleep. But I remember sitting there in the house, hungry, and I was like, "Yo, I'm hungry." You know what I'm saying? And it just sat around till she got back. She said, "Hey, Bass, what's going on?" She said, "You hungry?" I said, "Hell yeah, I'm starving." She said, "There's plenty of food in the fridge."
You could have went to the fridge. You could have went to a restaurant,
Bro, I could have went
McDonald's.
to the fridge. I could have walked down the. Oh, definitely not McDonald's. I'll tell you about my McDonald's
Oh,
scare.
okay, okay.
That's.
My first panic attack was at
Yeah,
McDonald's.
yeah. But
True
look, I
story.
could have went down the street. I could have did anything. I sat there content doing burpees and push-ups in the living room, right? In the living
Woo!
room with my JP5 player, waiting on her to come home from work.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's I just
JP5 player. So you brought it
yeah
home. I didn't bring mine home,
yeah
but
I did
you brought yours. And I'm not. We paid for it. Hey,
yeah
but
yeah.
you're in the living room with the JP5, the music player they give us in prison,
Yep,
doing burpees and push-ups.
burpees and push-ups, hungry, with a fridge full of food. And I've always been a food stamp king, so I probably had some stamps too. So
I'm so glad. Right, right. Shout out. I had stamps during the pandemic. It was amazing. But I'm glad that you really put that out there because we'd be better off if we really put our craziness to the board, man. If it's a safe space, that's step one. Sometimes you got to just say it out loud,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
You don't even need no response sometimes, right? But
right.
we're having a conversation, and when we talking about reentry shock, and shout out, I think we got like 100. Man, we got some motion on here today, y'all. I see y'all.
Say what?
Yeah, we got some motion, man. But reentry shock, again, when we're discussing this shock, not it's hard to transition, no shock. And when we think about
Hmm.
shock, you can think about it in a few ways. You can think about touching an electrical fence. You're gonna wake, you can think about the shock of jumping in cold water. It causes a physical response, and a lot of what we battling mentally, it's exuded physically at some point. And what
Right.
I just heard you say was your anxiety came out in the form of some burpees, which went back to conditioned practices in prison. Not a bad
Exactly.
exercise, anybody. I'm about to get into my burpee game again. Please don't think that I'm bugged out. I just know it is a great exercise. But
Exactly.
Sabi, I see you, good brother.
Oh, Sabir in
Um,
the building. Sabir's
yeah,
in the
Sabir in
building.
the building, man.
Hey, big Ock. Why you sit down?
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to the phone call. He gave me the phone call this morning. He got me on a accountability check-in. I got to do a weekly check-in. Had you some brothers that make you call them
Hey,
just in
listen, I
case?
just started that up. I just hit like 6 or 7 brothers. Won't go into the reason why,
Yeah,
but
for sure.
we were like,
Yeah,
yo, check-ins. Definitely
yeah.
gonna check in. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
definitely.
yeah. And have more we're gonna have more conversations like this, man. Everybody's saying they're needed. And yo, that's why, man. There's a lot of people that are hurting right now. There's a lot of people that are trying to feel this stigma. Because when we come out of prison, we're supposed to be strong and tough. We're supposed to have our chest poked out. Our arms are supposed to be, the same size as Amir's, you know. They trying to,
Yo,
we in the middle of
Wilder.
Oak Cliff. Amir with the never mind. Listen, we out there.
Wait for
Listen,
the episode. Just wait for the episode.
just wait for the
Yeah. Hey, listen.
episodes,
Wait. Let
man.
me say that. Let me
Yeah,
do a shameless plug real quick.
yeah.
I got to say this, bro. Okay, so y'all do know we started the 7 cities in 20 days, right?
Hmm.
We ended up having some physically technical difficulties
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
after we left Dallas. But I want to say this, man. For the cities that we did hit, I had the greatest time chilling with this dude, and what I'm
Thank you,
saying,
man.
just
Vice versa, man.
vibing with the people, watching them work. You know what I'm saying? I've always been mentally. I've always said this. I mean, I've said this years and years ago. I'm always in admiration of someone who teaches. You know what I'm saying? You're doing your work, but you're also teaching. You know what I'm saying? And I really appreciate that. I really
Thank you,
appreciate
man.
that from you too, man. For real.
I
I
appreciate
just
that.
sitting there watching you mentor little Chino 700,
Yeah, shout out to
and
Chino,
then
man.
what I'm saying, coming to the side and teaching. But yo, to do that, he said, make sure you use the Oh yeah, most times we gotta put that all out there. But the thing is, I gotta say it was a blast, bro. It was a blast. And like when we both got sick, because you called me that morning, you were like,
Yeah,
yo,
I
bro,
was at the
yo,
airport. I
you had
parked. I parked. I tried to push it.
Oh
I'm talking
nah,
about I
nah.
paid for the parking. You know, I park at the airport. I
Right.
tried to push it because I'm on some. I took the Pepto Bismol. I'm like, yo, we got to make it to Virginia. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? We getting the VA. Man, I parked. I made it. I walked through the airport.
Yeah.
I didn't even
Exactly.
go to. I
Exactly.
walked, and I didn't even go to the gate. I said, no, I'm not going to clear. Forget that. I need to call,
Yeah.
bro. But we're back in Arizona Sunday. You know what I'm saying?
Back in Arizona Sunday. But look, before wait, let me jump. Thursday, starting Thursday.
Hmm.
Thursday, road trip.
Road
Road.
tripski.
Y'all tap in with me, man. Taking a road trip. I got to, man. I got to clear my head a little bit. And the way I do it, I'm a military brat. And I know I'm taking away from the segment just real quick. Military brat, man. Traveled most of my life, 5.5 years in Germany, too many years in prison. But with all that type of stuff, I have to say this. One of the things that I've always done was travel. You know what I'm saying? And for me to clear my head, a lot of times has always been on the road. I can remember back in when the Thriller album came out, bro. My dad picked me
Throwback. Yeah.
up. My father picked me up, man. He had his reel that the what's called, and the car was messed up, so he had a Walkman that had the two plugs. And me and my dad drove down 95, bro, listening to the Thriller tape.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? I can remember coming through Georgia, looking at the pecan lines and everything, stuff like that.
Hmm.
So those type memories for me, that's always been an escape for me. You know what I'm saying? So from that being my escape, way to recenter myself, that was one of the first things I did. And then, as you know, I drove trucks for several years when I was in the trucking industry. But back to the reentry shot, right? Back to the reentry shot. So, like I'm gonna say that, I'm gonna
Hold
tag it
on,
in there.
really quick. Hold on,
Hold on, hold on, hold on.
hold on. You about to speed past the road trip, bro?
Road trip
It must be a
starting
NASCAR
Thursday.
road
Starting
trip.
Thursday, y'all. Tap,
It's
tap in with me. Second Lap Media. I'm going from Kentucky all the way to Arizona. I might make a stop over there in Vegas.
you know what we got to
Kentucky
get.
all the way to Arizona. Stop in Vegas. After that, after Arizona, I'm running. Listen to me. I am running to Sacramento area, to the Bay Area. Gotta go up there. So yeah, I'm just letting that be known. So what we about to say?
We got to get one of them backpacks like the young boys got, where you can stream live anywhere in the car, in the middle of the city, or we get Starlink. I'm thinking about getting Starlink because I live kind of in the. I don't live like in the country, but where I'm at, they don't have like the best Wi-Fi. So,
The best
but
Wi-Fi. Okay,
but you can
okay.
take that with you.
Okay,
So
yeah, we can do that. We can do that. I mean, can I purchase that? I mean, you set up with food
don't
stamps
just
or
do it because yeah, don't because I'm not Genesis. My name is not Genesis. I'm not saying to. I'm just saying. Anyways, so we're talking about reentry shock, man. Um, we're talking about stigma and the hype that and I call it the hype that we got to feed into. We're talking about how individuals walk out of prison physically, but oftentimes mentally, they're still on the inside. And in full transparency, and I know brothers that have been home 4 or 5 plus years. I've had people that message me, said they've been home 10, 11, 12 years that still feel mentally on the inside that they cannot. Okay, you want to get okay, well, we
I
ain't got to talk about what they said. Let's talk about what you gonna say.
nah, I definitely feel it. I
So
definitely
you
feel
feel
it.
like you're still, well, I want, because I want to say it right. Do you feel like you're still in confinement?
Institutionalized.
Okay, institutionalized, because I feel like there's
I'll
levels. I feel like confinement is
yeah,
like the highest, like when you
that
still feel
confinement
like,
is definitely the highest
I
because I
feel.
feel that yeah, and that's why I think, I've told you about this as well when it comes to, because with Second Lap, well, like I said, our thing is to go and get all your rights.
Hmm.
If you're free, you need to get all your rights,
Hmm.
your civil rights, Second Amendment rights, get
Hmm.
that passport, get all that. You need all, and I have all of those things, right? And
Hmm.
there are times that I still felt like I was in the Bing, but I know where mine came from. Shout out to Sabir, all the success to you. I can never see myself getting in a truck again. Never. Not me. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Because you got to keep in mind, I came home from incarceration, and really after I did the electrical thing for a while, ran up that bag,
Hmm.
I got into trucks. You know what I'm saying? I got into trucks, and getting into trucks, it was like boom, I'm going with that. I'm going with that. You know what I'm saying? And Air Canada was right along with me. She was supporting, and we ran it up, and we were doing that thing. But then I realized I never really stepped out and did anything else. I was just strictly in that truck, and that truck was like a moving cell for me. Because when I went
I
from
remember the
spots,
video you showed me. It looked like y'all was in a cell.
yeah, yeah, I need to post it. I'm glad you said that because I went from truck stop to truck stop. I wasn't one of the guys that got out to go hang out. I know guys that get out to go work out, and I know guys who have baby mama one over here. Me, unfortunately, I didn't do that.
Right.
I worked. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I worked and that was it.
Hmm.
But I think what happened in doing that, I was so institutional. I was still incarcerated. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a cell, I had the microwave, I had the little television. You know what I mean? I'd get out, do my burpees, my pull-ups, my push-ups. I'm waiting in the shower line. I'm waiting in the shower line. You know what I'm saying? I'm washing
Bro
my
was just
clothes in the
telling me this
laundry.
earlier too. Sabir was just telling me this earlier. But
Yeah,
anyways, yeah.
and so that 5 years, bro, I've been home 7 years, right?
Right.
That's 5 years I was still inside.
That's 5 additional years in a 6 by 9, well, whatever cell.
Yeah, yeah,
So
basically.
let me ask you this.
And I was running from problems. I wasn't dealing with situations.
And
I completely destroyed a marriage in the truck. I'd be in the truck, boom, get in a situation I didn't like it, I'm out. Give me a route to Maine, I'm out of here. Boom. You know what
go
I'm
get
saying? Then
money.
I destroyed that marriage and I got into a relationship. And then it's like, you know what? She said something I didn't like. You know what? I'm leaving Cali. I'm out of here. Boom. I'm going to Texas. Where are you at now? Florida. Where are you at now? Guantanamo. I would do
Right.
whatever it had to do because I didn't want to deal with the situations. Now I realized that 5 extra years, you think about it, it wasn't 25 years. I pretty much did 30 years. You know what I mean? So yeah, I still to this day feel that there are times when I'm kind of like still in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm messed up like I can't operate. You've been around me, you know what I'm saying? But there are
Right.
certain things where it just comes to the point it's like, you know, you need help. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You and I having our conversations. I'm at the point now, especially when we go to Arizona. Tap into that. That's going to be big.
Yeah,
That's going to be
Arizona's gonna be
major.
good, man. For sure.
All about healing. I'm
Hmm.
at the point where I'm like, you know what? I want to heal. I want to heal. I want to get that off me. I
You
want to.
deserve to, man.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
But let me tell
that's
you,
yeah.
I wanna say this to anybody watch. When you heal, it doesn't mean that you won't ever experience hurts again. But to heal means to put yourself in the best place, mentally and physically, so you can endure whatever comes your way. And we all deserve healing. And prison will devalue you as an individual. Prison will have you believing that your value is less um than what it actually is. It'll have you thinking that you don't deserve healing. It'll have you thinking that you don't deserve family or relationship. It'll have you thinking that you don't deserve foundation. It'll have you thinking that you don't deserve a relationship with your higher power or whatever it is, because prison is designed, make no doubts about it, to destroy you in many ways. There's this narrative that goes around that says that prison is here to rehabilitate. There are areas and you will see glimpses, of course, but when you look at the broad scheme of confinement in prison, people are being destroyed on the inside. The amount of mental trauma that we go through is causing some of us to not even make it through year one of our freedom, whether that means we're back inside of prison or somewhere else. And this is why we got to keep having these discussions, because if you're scared to let the world let that you're crazy, here's something. Just think about all the news about the Epstein stuff and all that, man. The world is crazy enough. Nobody is so focused on your crazy that they're gonna be sitting there and if they is, good riddance, because
Word.
you're not part of the healing environment. You know,
Yeah. Word.
it it's imperative, man. Healing allows you to be aware. You can't be aware unless you feel. Healing allows you to grow, because if you're not healing, then you're not living. You're the opposite of that. And it's important because many of us will get locked up in 2004, 2003. We'll come home in 2012, but we'll spend the rest of our lives locked up in our mind. And I also want to say there's some people that have never been to prison that are locked up right now in their mind. So it's real.
Hey, let me address one of the comments, right?
Hmm.
Y'all pardon me. Yo, I get a little emotional sometimes. You know what I mean? My
It's
man
real.
said sometimes picking out a deodorant in a Walmart can lead to a total mental shutdown. I gotta say this, right? Remember I told you earlier, like, she was at work and I was at the crib and I was just hungry.
Right.
I had the option to get something to eat, right? But that's just not in my that programming at the time, right?
Hmm.
I remember because I cook a little bit.
Hmm.
Don't I hope do I have any people my people
You
in the
said a little
comments?
bit.
Yeah, I don't want my people to be in the comments. I don't want them
They
to know
be
how to
done
cook.
told on you.
my
Grilled
mom,
cheese.
my mom, you know what I'm saying? But look, the thing is, like, I remember going because I wanted to make the French toast. I wanted to do this, you know what I'm saying? And then I went into the grocery store. I looked, bro, and I was like, why in the are there so many breads?
I'm gonna stop you right there. I heard you
What?
say something in the restaurant. We were out at the Mexican restaurant, I think,
Uh-huh.
and at one of the Mexican restaurant, I think the one by my way, and you said if you want to confuse me, bring me to a place with a bunch of different
Yeah,
choices
bunch
or
of
something on the
options.
menu.
Bunch
Yeah.
of options, right. Yeah. I mean, because people wonder, okay, because when I do this little road trip, pinning that again,
Hmm.
road trip, the 19th,
Hmm.
follow me, check me out.
Yeah.
Making a lot of stops, going to live a lot. But look, I go to the Waffle House so often, I could probably write
Be
down,
sponsored by them.
I should be sponsored by the Waffle House, bro,
Yeah.
for real. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I go so often because it's a place of comfort and it's familiarity. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of choices. It's the
Can,
same damn
can I
thing.
go into peer support mode for
Hold up.
for?
Let me say this last thing.
Okay. Okay.
My ex-wife was a chef. She studied under Bourdain's number 2 student.
I would have been 400 pounds if
Look,
if
from
I was
Jersey.
hanging out with
Bro,
you.
she tried to advance my palate so many times, right? And I was just like, nah, nah. My main man, Mark, big shot, Mark Overby.
Shout
He
out to
ate
Mark.
more of her food than I did. And I'd be like, yo, he said, yo, get her to make this. I was like, nah, I'm good. It wasn't until after our divorce that I started eating different stuff. But I was married to basically a chef. I
Right.
wanted the same thing. So it's just that you know what I'm saying? There's too many choices, bro. I get confused. Somebody said she said peanut butter waffle.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah,
you always get the peanut butter joints.
peanut
Anybody that
butter
watches
waffle,
this
man. Peanut
stuff,
butter.
you know.
But yeah, that's the thing about it. So many choices. Is like you said, trying to get a deodorant, man. It's a shutdown because I remember walking, going to Spear Sport Me after this. I would look and it was so many breads. And I was like, dang. And then it was like, I go over here, it's like so many teas, and there's like so many different toothbrushes that I just went straight into like the little hood spot
Hmm.
where they sell all the. I said, look, give me 4 of them, 4 of those, 4 of them. You know what I mean? And then the pantry started to look like a canteen.
I'm sure.
It looked like the commissary because you just get stuck in those modes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So, um, outside of social media stuff, I'm a certified peer specialist and mental health forensic peer,
Talk
and
to him.
yeah, and I always got to say that for any just
And he is
because
my therapy while we're on the road.
everybody's like, I'm your therapy. I'm sorry. Are you sure you want me to be your therapy? Because, anyways, I'm like Joker in the asylum. Anyways, so one thing that I always encourage people, I had to pause and really reflect on that statement for a second. We'll get back to that in another episode. Um, but I always encourage my brothers and sisters that I work with to, when you say something like that, you may already be doing this. As you're making this road trip, I think what would be really cool is that you try one new experience along the way, whether that's in each state, whether it's just a new meal, whether it's stopping somewhere you've never been, you know, or doing something. I don't know what but I challenge you. I think it would make for some good content. Everybody's going to check it out. But it seems to me, and I don't know. I got the privilege and honor of traveling, having some conversations with you. But it seems to me that you have yet to have a lot of firsts. There's a lot of stuff to experience. Like traveling the world is one thing. I got a buddy that travels the world. This guy's been to Greece, everywhere. But if you ask him if he's ever went to a restaurant and sat down by, and you'd probably do this all the time, but he doesn't do the surface level things. You
Okay.
know, he's got a business. He hides in his business,
Hmm.
and I think he hides in travel. But as far as like living, like he's never gone to a movie since he's been home, which you've probably been to a few, but he's never just went. He's all, I want to go to a movie. He's wanted to go to the virtual reality, the video game thing or whatever, right? He's never been. He keeps saying, I want to go. I've never been. I want, but he never. And I say the same thing to him all the time. So there's got to be something. There's got to be. We were gone. I was gone for 17 years, and I've done a lot in 6. But there's
Right.
still so many things that I fight every day. I mean, I'm telling you, I try to do something new.
Right. I mean, no, don't get me wrong now. Like I've trailblazed. You know what I'm saying? I've definitely trailblazed. Like when I my last run, when I made my mind up, said my last run in the truck, oh, I hit every state. You know, I went up to the
Mhm.
gorge in Oregon. You know what I'm saying? I almost
Nice.
had a heart attack coming off um Snoqualmie. I'm pretty sure.
I thought you were gonna talk about Allegheny Mountains in
No, I'm
Pennsylvania.
pretty sure severe. Nobody Snoqualmie in Washington. I almost had
Mhm.
a heart attack coming down there. I'll jump in the car and just go. Like, you know, I've been to Brazil twice last year. You know what I'm saying? I've done things. It's just that when I get to the point where it comes to, you know, my comfort level, if I feel that something is, you know, man, we'll get to that. Let's get back to entry shock,
Do
man.
you
Just
have habits that you hide in?
most definitely.
So this is what I'm talking.
And
So
those same habits were developed and nurtured while I was incarcerated because
right,
those same habits kept me out of the BS. You know what I'm saying? If it's
yeah,
working out, because that's what we do,
mhm,
program,
mhm,
right? Do the time. Don't let the time do you.
yeah,
Prayer, certain times of the day, and
mhm,
more, right?
mhm.
Meditation, working out, the phone call, time to eat, time to do this. Yeah, everything was boom, 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 boom. And when you get to the point where you're not hey love, when you get to the point where you're not comfortable with something, I'm out.
Right.
You see what I'm
So
saying? Bro, it was so bad, even that it was so bad. And my ex told me this, you know what I'm saying? And she goes through it still, big ups to Mama Tess. I would be on a phone with somebody and I would get off the phone and then she'd be like, you know what? You almost talked to me like 20 minutes on the head. That went for almost a year.
mhm.
Just I would talk, and it was like, I will look, I'm gonna go ahead and handle this. So I'll catch up with you. All right, babe, go. Boom, love you.
Mm,
Whatever. You know what I'm saying? That was on the inside. But then on the phone, on out here,
mhm.
after about 20 minutes, I'm like, yo, what is we talking about? You know what I mean? So that's
So
why I would get in the habit of I like to FaceTime. Because if I FaceTime, that stops me from, you know what I'm saying?
so
So
that's an example of what I'm saying. I want to
right,
walk back to that first because you went right back to where I told you the other guy did. He's like, I travel. I'm like, okay, nice, good, great. You've been to Mexico, awesome. I'm talking about going to Waffle. I mean, because that's awesome. Honestly, I'm not
right,
taking away. But again, that's a habit that he's hiding in. I'm not saying you are. That's why I
right.
asked the habit. But what I'm talking about is if you go to Waffle House all the time, instead of getting the peanut butter waffles, order the waffles you never ordered since you've been home. That's all I'm saying. That's why I said the surface level stuff, not the big things. You
Okay,
you
well,
you
the
know what I'm
Waffle
saying?
House thing, I got you. I can change up some of the things, but I don't eat off the grill. So I eat the same thing at Waffle House because I don't eat off the grill. A
It's
lot of
don't.
people haven't caught that. They haven't caught that
Mhm.
reason. But I understand what you're saying. Change it up some. Change it
Yeah,
up. I'm gonna
but
do that.
because here's the thing that we don't acknowledge often. It's the sum of our habits that lead us to that trouble area that we see. So right. So you said several times. You say I run. I ran too. I was run, but it wasn't the running part. It wasn't isolated. There was
Mhm.
these other intricate layers and decisions that I was making along the way that made it easier to do that. It was the
Right.
way that it was the things that I did every single day. I was very structured and programmed,
Right.
extremely structured and programmed. And again, what we see and what we find when we speak to brothers, and as you use the term that trailblaze, because I know quite a few that have trailblazed, they hide in their habits. They hide in their work. I know guys that work 12 hours a day. They got $1 million probably. I don't know what they got. They're grade A, but they're not present in their life. They're not doing anything different and unique. His screen went black. That's how you know you're dropping that real knowledge right there. That extreme knowledge. I don't know where he went. Hopefully he'll be back in a little bit, man. We're talking about the reentry shock. We're talking about uh adaptation. We're talking about uh breaking the conditions of the things that you've been doing for 10, 15, 20 years or 1 year, 2 year. 365 days of doing the same thing in jail, prison, etc. can condition you to a place where you may, you know what I'm saying? Do those things when you get home. If you get up 365 days in a row for count time, right? At we'll just say 5:30 a.m. count, there's a chance that you're going to what? Get up at 5:30 a.m. the morning after you go home. Maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. One of the things I had to do when we were talking about make different decisions is I had to actually make the decision and I had to teach myself how to stay in bed. I used to get up every single morning at 3:30 in the morning because in prison, I used to get up at 3:30 in the morning because I wanted to get up before my cellie, or if when I was in the dorm, I wanted to get up before everybody else in the dorm because you got to share a bathroom. And when I came home, I'd be getting up at 3:30 in the morning and just up. Nothing to do. Weirdo timing. I'm watching what. So I had to start making these little decisions. What did the little decisions look like to get me deprogrammed off of waking up at 3:30 a.m.? Well, one, it wasn't just deciding to wake up at 6 or say to myself, I'm not going to get out the bed till 6. It was also making certain decisions throughout the course of my day, right? I started to implement things. I started to eat different. I had to sleep different. There was people I was dealing with, phone calls, because my anxiety was really the thing that was causing me to wake up first thing in the morning. There's always a deeper root. We look at it, it's just here. I'm telling you, I'll sit here and talk to somebody. They'll be like, what the heck? Hey, I'm just telling you what I've been through. There's always the anxiety is what caused me to get up at 3:30 in the morning in prison because I didn't want to bump into my cellie and get into it. Or the dudes in the dorm because it's early in the morning. And I carried it over. Amir, do you have audio? He has no audio. So we just over here vibing, we chilling, and we carrying on. This is live. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to everybody that's hanging around too, man. Somebody said always a deeper root for sure. You know, there's always I don't know what he talking about, y'all. He got that I don't know, he from the West Coast. I'm about to take him off here. I think I'm gonna take you out and come back in. See if it hopefully we can get him back in here, y'all. But we talking about reentry shock. We're trying to basically be a voice for individuals that are impacted by incarceration, be a voice for individuals, loved ones, family members, and more, because sometimes you can feel like you're on an island. Sometimes you can think that you are the odd man out or the odd woman out or whatever. You can think that you're the person that's only going through this, and that's not true. Prison impacts everybody, and here we acknowledge it doesn't just impact the person, it impacts the individuals, families, the loved ones, those that stuck around. And we're not saying that the journey's the same, but it definitely bleeds on over, man. Do you got audio now? He disappeared in 2.6 seconds. And this is what we're doing. Uh Somebody said a lot of men don't realize they're not the only one doing time with their families, also doing 100%. Um if it says sometimes I wake up early because that was my life. Never knew when the phone was going to ring. That part too, man. In prison, there's a consistent level of anxiety throughout the whole thing. And we start to make our decisions based off of our anxieties. Our overall lifestyle is created off of our anxiety.
Can you hear me now?
You've got audio.
All right. Sorry about that. Listen, new
You
phone.
He got
Somebody,
one of them expensive giants. I ain't trying to put him out. He got one of them new giants.
bro, let's don't
I
do
got
that.
the I got the EBT jump.
Yo, why you gonna use?
But hey, shout out. I wish I had him right now. I wish I all jokes aside. The way
Listen,
inflation, we ain't gonna talk about that right now, but yeah.
trauma can break you mentally. Yeah, trauma definitely can break you mentally. Most
Yeah.
definitely.
I had somebody tell me trauma informed care was garbage. And I almost
What?
lost. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like, so you're saying the trauma that people went through in childhood is garbage? I'm like, are you out your mind? Like,
Yeah.
I told him straight up, like in the middle of the Zoom, I was like, that's unfortunate. Like, I couldn't even keep the level of profession. I'm so passionate about people addressing their trauma and acknowledging what's going on with them so they can get to the root. But it threw me off, man. So thank you for putting that comment in there. Trauma can break you mentally because some
Yeah,
people,
man.
man. Uh, what Somebody had a comment too, man. A question for you. Oh no, somebody said I now mentor in 3 different halfway houses in Dallas, Texas. That's what it is. We trying to get in the halfway houses and speak to the
Talk to
gentleman
us.
there.
Talk to us. Talk to
Y'all,
us.
yeah, y'all
We're
can
in
go.
Dallas. We're in
Yeah,
Dallas.
message us, man. We'll be down there next week if we can
We're
get into
def
these. Yeah,
Okay, so he tuned out. So here we are. This is the takeover.
I'm back that fast though. You thought I was gone. Accelerated speed over here.
This guy over here, man. That's no bougie Wi-Fi, bro. That Wi-Fi is on point. You got right there.
I don't know what it is, bro. It's unique. That's what I tell you. But so you've made some different, obviously, like getting off the truck. I know I stopped drinking. You said you made it a point to see new things. I made it a point, like, to learn how to go to a restaurant by myself and have a meal. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a big thing for me. What are some things? Well, I'll start with me. Some more things I'm gonna implement, even though I feel like I'm almost, I'm like 90 percentile range, but there's always work to be done. So I think one of the things I'm definitely going to implement more in this season for me is I'm going to get an additional source of support, whether it's a support group. I don't want to say increase my therapy sessions, but whatever it is,
Right.
I'm going to do something. I want to reinforce because I still have moments. You know what I'm saying? Something could be going on in life, whatever, or not. I don't know if you experience this, and hopefully you don't, but I can wake up on a Tuesday and the sun's shining for no apparent reason, and it just feel like, oh, like that weight is on me, man.
Yeah, I get that. I get that
For
sometimes.
real.
Yeah.
I was hoping, yeah, that's it, and really no rhyme or reason. Like, there's not necessarily anything wrong. And the way I was talking to my therapy about the way the therapist, way I can understand it, is when I was in prison. I was anticipating something like everything was okay. There was no drama. Shakedown was just over, but I was still anticipating something bad to happen.
I think for me, if you say one of the things I want to do is because I'm always seeking. I will say this. We did say habits. How we hide behind our habits, right?
Sometimes, not everybody.
Okay. For
Sometimes.
myself, one of the things of seeking the next level, because when I was came home, I was on parole,
Mhm.
and I was like, I got to get off parole. I
Mhm.
fought for that. What do I have to do to get off parole? Got off
Mhm.
parole. Then it was probation. Yo, I gotta get off probation. What do I gotta do? I work, boom, blessing, get off probation. And
Mhm.
then it was, I gotta get my civil rights back. Boom, got my civil rights. Gotta get my Second Amendment back. Boom, gotta get my passport. The next thing, the next thing, the next thing, right?
Mhm.
So I think those are positive, but they become almost to the point where it's like, uh, it's a challenge. Like I'm challenging myself, right?
Mhm.
And when we're on the inside, those disciplines, the way we discipline ourselves and the way we challenge ourselves, you know what? I want to be able to front squat the 315. What do
Yeah.
I got to do to get to that? You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And I would
Absolutely.
push a whole summer. At the end of the summer, I want to be able to bang the 315. You know what I'm saying? Or I want to be able to, whatever that was, that's where I'm at this year.
Mhm.
2026, that's where I'm at this year because I know in the last few years, some of the changes when it came to therapy, and my father told me to get away from this. When it
Mhm.
came to therapy, I would only go to therapy if it had to do something with the failed relationship.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I agree with him
I
1,000.
so
Yeah.
like I was like, you know what? I need therapy. That
Yeah.
relationship didn't work. And I'm like, you know what, man? Damn that. Yo,
No,
bro,
just
I'm good where I'm at. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? I'm good where I'm at. It doesn't have to always be a long conversation with me.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure they understand it. It doesn't have to be a long
I've
conversation with
had
me.
times where I will pop on a
It
screen.
could yeah, it could be some, you know what I'm saying, a nice some iced tea and a thing of sugar cookies and he's
It's
good. I'm all right. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be that thing, but I'm not going to live this year or any more of my years trying to address someone else's issues. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at with it this year. You know what I'm saying? So
Yo,
that's what I
and
said. Road trip. Road trip. Check me out. Pinning it again. Road trip. That's what I'm doing, man.
we might
That's
need to
that's
we might need to do a Route 66. I don't know how long it
yo
would take for us to
on
drive. It
yes, Route 66 on Harleys
No,
next year
I'm
with
not
the
getting on no
drone.
bike. I'm not getting on no
With
bike.
the drone, bro.
Not shout out to my father-in-law, man. Uno, rest in peace, man. He was the national sergeant at arms for the Phantoms, man. The wife and them come from bikers, man. Shout out to the Detroit fam, man. But no, I don't have enough heart, man. And I'm too old, man. I'm trying to stay alive, man.
Look, bro.
I don't want to go
Okay.
out like that.
All right. Well, look, I
It
tell you what.
seems freeing though. It
Get
seems
the
like
on the trike with the drone. How
the
about that?
trike is what's the joint? Not the trike, the slingshot. Do they still do slingshots?
They do slingshots
Are they?
everywhere out Vegas. What are you
Well,
talking
I
about?
might need to. I might feel a little bit, but
I'm pretty sure she got the plug. Yeah.
yeah, I might. That would be dope though. But Lord
Yeah.
knows, man. But I want to like what you said is major to focus on you, and I'm not saying that you were alluding to this because I think this happens to us when we come home from prison in different ways. It's not always a relationship. Sometimes it's we focus on our family because we've been gone for so long. But many of us, we don't give ourselves an opportunity to do what you just said. I love my wife. We would have probably ended up married. I would like to think so, but I made the decision. We made the decision for me to come straight here, get married before I came home, all that. But looking back, I needed that time to decompress and not in a negative way, not in a toxic way, not in a I need to go. No, I needed to like learn how to use a bathroom by myself and have space by myself and certain things. And we work great now, but it was man, it was a process. And it again, it's not just that. I know brothers that come home and they got to be there for their mamas because their mamas are older and they don't worry about them. There's these holes that they want to fill and never do they give
Take
themselves
the
an
time.
opportunity,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's major that you said that. Me, we got a saying in the recovery community. We say recovery is selfish. And recovery is not just substance based. It's a mindset thing. Recovery means to abstain, let go of anything that's destroying you. It could be people, it could be doing something like gambling or what, you know what I'm saying? Substances, it could be a multitude of different things, but it's a selfish thing. But the blessing is when you focus on you, whoever's really attached to you and loves you and whatever, they gonna reap rewards from that because they get to experience the best version of you.
Let me ask you a question with that. All
Yeah,
right. Recovery is selfish.
yeah.
Give me something that because when you said that, I do recall saying something to someone not too long ago. I was like, I got to take time for myself.
Hmm.
And she agreed. I was like, oh, wait, what?
Hmm.
But she called me preacher man. But I was like, hey, this is one of the things. But I want to say this, like, or ask you this: give me a picture of you. I'm not gonna say happy because I know a picture of you with happy was a Junior. Anything with Junior and the wife, but a picture of you solo
Hmm.
being selfish and happy. Give me an example of that
Since I've been home,
since you've been home.
yeah. Man,
And I would never ask you to exclude your family because I
no, I'm
admire
gonna
where
give it
you are
to
with
you.
your
It's
family. I
actually
love,
it's
yeah.
actually excluding my family.
Okay.
It can be deemed that, and I can have the thought of it as being selfish because I will tell even my wife sometimes. Nobody has 100%, and some people disagree, but you got to live your life the way that you do. But for me, there's always that one, at least part of me that is just for me.
Right.
And there's some moments where I love my wife and I got to use her, and she wouldn't have me. We talk about this in seminars. Babe, I love you, but I just need few hours. I'm just gonna go on a ride or go fishing or go hiking, Stone Mountain, do something. Well, I need you. I
Stone
understand.
Mountain. I remember
Yeah.
Stone Mountain.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
remember.
Yeah. Well, I need you. I know you do, but right now I need myself, you know? Selfish is and we gotta look at this word, and I'm not but we get thrown off sometimes by words, but you better make your recovery about you and not about anybody else. You better
Right.
establish boundaries. You better be able to say no to everyone, because if not, if you feel like you have to say yes to everyone or anyone, that one person has control over you.
You don't
And
think that we're a pleaser, people pleasers when we come home?
we are most definitely. I burnt out and wanted to not be here because I was the king of people pleasers.
Right.
I'm in the rain, jump starting my mother-in-law's whatever I'm doing. I'm moving my wife's homegirl from the third story apartment by herself. I'm bro, if I could physically do it and I burnt out. That's how I learned to be selfish. I was too giving. I give, 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 give. Please, please support, support, support. And then I noticed, and again, this isn't a knock to the people that are closest to me, but nobody can save me but me. When I was sitting on that couch and my mind was racing and everybody was laughing watching the movie, and I'm trying to figure out if I got to go check in to respite care or something.
Right,
No,
right.
nobody can get inside my mind and fix. That's just me. So when I figured that out and I wanted to live because that's how detrimental it was for me. Oh man, But my wife, she uses a term, and it's a positive term in my household. We call it selfish time. Oh, you need some selfish time. It's like a joke, but it's
Right.
real. Like it's acknowledging, like, oh yeah. And I thank God that I got people around me that understand that just because I need to just have me in the moment. Like I just need to just be me and God in the moment. It don't mean that it's nothing with you. It just means that I need to make sure I can still be with you going forward.
I think for me, well, I'm not gonna say I think. I remember a time ago, for me, selfish time, getting up in the morning, watching my person cook, and me going out to the desert, whatever, because I like the pew pews, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And knowing when I got back that there was going to be a nice meal,
Mhm.
but not having that is one thing, but that selfish moment for me is somewhere me sunrise sunset with the pew pew.
I
That's
mean, that's your
crazy.
therapy. You have your
That
rights.
is
Give the
every
second lap
day.
if you want to get
there
your.
there is no way to look past it other than that being my therapy, because it has nothing to do with violence. It has
Mhm.
nothing to do with, I posted something on
It's the
my page.
sport.
It's the sport. I come from, and I try and tell the story. I mean, I tell the story often, right?
Mhm.
That you got to keep in mind, I'm a military brat, like
Right.
to the core, to the
Mhm.
core. I lived in Germany 5.5 years. I was, where I was born and everything else, military base, military base, military base. I
Mhm.
watched AFN, Air Force Network, since I was a little pup. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And Air Force Network, the commercials are all military commercials. I remember there was
Mhm.
one, if anyone knows about this, tap in, say it for real. There's an AFN commercial that says
I was in the
one.
United States Air Force active
So,
duty.
so do you know this commercial?
Yeah.
One
Oh,
drop of water can kill a battalion. And it's
Lord
somebody that,
Jesus.
you remember that commercial?
You was
It was
programmed
great.
in.
Right. So you got to think coming up like that. But I would wake up in the morning and I would hear the cadence. I would hear boom, boom,
Right.
boom, boom, boom. I remember when the AH-64 Apache went over in Fort Bragg the first time. I remember these things.
Right.
So to me, it's not a thing of violence. And my crimes that I committed, none had to do with pew pews, right?
Mhm.
None, none. It was all, whatever it was. But the thing is, for me, that's therapy, because I look at it. I know my stuff. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Earl Morgan, man. One time, he's on his way to Carolina, man. Just lost somebody in his family. Big shout out to him. Safe travels, big bro. But he is the second lap reentry, Second Amendment, basically pusher. That's what he
Mhm.
does. He helps people
Mhm.
get their Second Amendments back. But
Y'all will
for
see
me,
me get my second amendments back
we are
via second
working
lap.
on. He has already obtained his first in the blind. He
Mhm.
ain't even know.
Yeah, I didn't even know I had my
he got his
rights
civil rights
fulfilled.
back
I'm over here
in the
just
blind. But yeah, we're definitely working on him getting the. It's not even a thing to me. It's just give, if it's mine, let me have that. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna push for that. But yeah, that's the thing for me. It's just having that opportunity to sit there and just pew pew. You know what
You
I
gotta
mean?
have something for you, and
Right.
everybody's not gonna
That's
have the
that's
same thing.
my thing. And that's why I'm telling you, bro. Me, you, two Harleys, pew pews and some drones, Route 66, bro.
Me,
That's
you,
viral, bro.
you could be on a Harley, and I will be. Give me, I'll tell you what. Give me one of them, like them young boys, like one of them, Jeep, uh, Hellcats or something. I don't know. Give me something that
Man,
the
y'all talk
radio.
to this guy. Talk to you,
I
man. Y'all
want
talk
to
to
make up that sound going through Route 66, but I don't want to be on no bike. It'd be just my luck, man. I'd be done slid a little. Shout out to
man.
Jesse Crossan, he's gonna be on my brother's platform.
Yes,
Jesse,
sir.
and I don't mean it, and Jesse's a buddy of mine. He's not gonna say this. Any thought of me wanting to get a bike, Jesse removed that from my life. Do you know what happened to him?
No.
Jesse whole arm got ripped off.
I seen him talking about his arm. He's got a major
His
scar.
whole arm. I'm gonna say it one more time. He was riding. He talks about it all the time. We're getting ready. This is perfect segue. Make sure y'all check out Second Lap in the interview with Jesse Crossan coming soon. But
Most
he's
definitely.
riding, enjoying life. He goes out. He don't know. He slides, and there's a piece of pipe sticking up from the ground, jagged, just a little piece, and somehow he slid, and his whole joint.
Ah. And his audio is out. Is it me or is it y'all? Can y'all still hear him? Y'all let us know if y'all can still hear him. All right, can you hear me?
Okay, can y'all hear me now?
Well, you're back. He's back. He's
Okay.
back.
So he slids and his arm hits this little piece of pipe, and so he had to get this state of the art surgery, and he just got his arm. But like, no, I'm not doing that. And he's experienced. I'm not. I don't know. No, I'm good. But anyways, so my brother getting ready to take the road trip, man. Make sure y'all tap in with him. What day does that start?
It's starting on the 19th, man. Starting on the 19th. I got a bad situation happened with the family. We're gonna handle that first, and it completely altered all my other plans. But yeah, starting the 19th, we're going from Kentucky. We're heading all the way back out west. I will be stopping at Waffle House. I will be stopping to get other waffles. Come on,
Yes.
bro. Come on, come on. I'll
Cream
try
cheese
different.
or something. Do something.
I'll try a different waffle.
Just
Yeah,
try
I'll try. And look, on the way, if there's somewhere I should stop, y'all let me know. Hit me up. But check me out on that Second Lap Media on all across all platforms. That's something I'll be doing. It's basically it's therapy for me. You know what I'm saying? It's been a rough week. A rough week. We've you know, in the passing of one of our great friends, you know what I'm saying? We're not gonna get into more detail on that, but just a time of reflection, a time of as he says, selfishness, you know what I mean? Because I know the family would like me to get straight home, but it's one of those things where I just got to focus on,
You got to.
yeah, focus on me. Because I'm
Yes.
tired of people referring to me as the bodyguard when we go together, bro. When we go
It
out places,
is
man.
what it is. They're not gonna think I'm gonna protect you. I mean, I'm not like, no slouch, but then they're gonna think and assume that you're gonna protect me. It just in the video, you're standing in all black just like this while I'm interviewing the guy. That's not me. That's just stereo type and stigma right there for
That's
you.
crazy. That's crazy. But
But
yeah,
big
man, I think this has been a good one too, man. And tap in, man, with the comments. I'm able to see the comments this time. I like that. I wasn't able to see
That's
them
good.
before. But
That's
with
good.
the reentry shock, man, reentry shock, it's a major thing, man, because a lot of us go through things and we don't address them. But I do want to say this, man. I know we're about to close it out. Tell your people you love them, man. If you have people that are dear to you, talk to them. Check in. Tell them you love them. Tell them how you feel. Um, Damn the text messages. Call.
Yeah.
Let your people know you love them, man. Check in, see how things are going. Um, and because you never really know, man. Never really know, man, where someone is at. Especially in those who've been in our situations, been through our struggles, and not just people incarcerated. It ain't got to be incarcerated. Check in on your people.
Absolutely.
Check in on your people. Like call, let them know what's up. Hey, you got to do that, man. You got to do that.
Absolutely, man. Man, I'll in my portion of the Stay Free show saying as always, man, it's a pleasure and honor to connect with my brother Amir with Second Lap. We will be headed towards Phoenix. to Virginia. I'll be out there about 8 times in the next 2 months for some events and to speak at some prisons. And then what else we got going on, man? March.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
We got some big stuff coming.
Yeah,
Big
yeah.
stuff coming.
We got
Yeah.
March 6th, we got the Alabama Solution showing down here in Atlanta, man. Hey, come down to the city, man. Let us show you how to. We got a Chef Roy in the building, bar business, big sis Bridget. I'm really excited. I'm gonna be posting a interview with her as well. And bruh's gonna be having her brief from bar business, crazy story, but bigger impact, man. And then what else? There's a bunch of we got the
Check this out. I gotta say this. I gotta say
yeah.
this. Jay Williams on my
Shout out to
podcast.
Jay
The
Williams.
22nd, he's coming out to Vegas, the 22nd to the 24th. We're making a movie, bro.
It's
Me
amazing.
and Jay Williams, 22nd to 24th, Richmond's finest. That's gonna be major for me because really, we were in the same spots at different times, right? But
Hmm.
we got our suit challenge. And you know what I'm saying? We got our suit challenge popping off. So, if anybody knows me, I know I like to get the suit and tie thing going on. I look good in the suit. But he challenged me. Actually, I challenged him. And we're gonna do that. So it's gonna be a movie before the podcast. Afterwards, he's definitely gonna stick around for a little bit. I'm showing him the city. And I also got to say, he says, where in VA, Richmond, Richmond. I also got to say this too, with my camera guy, Vic from the Bay. Vic from the Bay, he's throwing it on the table for everyone that's coming on my podcast. You missed this one, Chris. Everyone that comes on my podcast, on the Visitation Room podcast, he's giving away a free photo shoot. A free photo shoot. So you got to dress for excellence. Dress for excellence. The stories of resilience. So hey, look, that's what he's doing. He's throwing that in there. I actually wish
That's
we would have
fire.
done that when you and Aaron came out there, because yeah, that would have been fire. That would have been fire. You know what I mean?
I'll be back. I got a conference in Vegas in May, so
In
I'll be
May?
back
Okay, yeah, we'll
in May.
definitely do that. Definitely do that. We're gonna both of us got to do some burpees before we get in another suit, though.
I
You and I
definitely
both.
need to shout out. I got a trainer now, so we
You ain't
made.
got a trainer, bro.
Well, I was told that I needed to get a trainer because people want to see me take some acting auditions. They want to see me go for some real roles. So,
Yo, shout out to my man on the
uh,
acting, man. Yo, thespian hours. Get them thespian hours in, bro.
hey man, yo, you know what's and listen to anybody out there, man. You don't need the qualifications to do it that people put out there, man. You just need the heart to get it done, man. Real talk.
Real
Um,
talk.
look, I'm gonna say also April 4th, we got the peace conference too, man, down here in Atlanta with Georgia
Oh,
State
major,
University, Pod,
major.
and everybody else. We'd love to see you there. There's a bunch of events. Somebody said where in VA. I'll be out there at the Christopher Newport event doing a storytellers workshop as well as VCU. And I know Amir will be all in the mix somewhere. We got an event at the end of March too, for a mental health conversation in the community. And to end this, man, I'll just say, uh, we lost a giant in the advocacy world, man. My brother, and not to go into the situation. I want to be respectful to him, his family, everybody else. Just as a reminder that those that you see as the strongest and are the strongest, they are the ones you should check on the most, man. Those that are shouldering the most weight, those that are always there for people, those that are always saying yes, those that are picking up the phone at 2 in the morning, check on them because they're consistently pouring out. And 9 times out of 10, they're not getting poured back into, man. So that's my word of the day. I appreciate y'all, man. We're getting started. Any colleges out there would like to see me come in there and my brother give us some honorary doctorates. I got to plug us too, man. Any jails, any COs, any prisons, anywhere that we can get into. Recovery Center. Shout out to New Freedom in Arizona. We're gonna be out there Sunday. Man, hit us up. That's it. We it's more than conversation, it's community, and outside of that, it's connection. So y'all already know what it is, man. Peace.